As everyone seemed to be enjoying the game and already lost faith in going back to the real world, Kirito was trying to catch some fish from the river when he met Nishida, an old man who used to work as a manager in the real life. Nishida could catch some, and they decided to make Asuna cook something for them. The dinner was so yummy as usual. The old man liked it, and while they were talking, he revealed the existence of a big fish inside the river. He told them that he planned to catch it, but he would need their help. A lot of players knew about this event and crowded to see the show, which Nishida planned to make it. When the fish ate the bait, the old man handed the hook to Kirito and ran away. It was so huge, but Asuna killed it. After that, Heathcliff, the leader of the syndicate, called them back to join the training. The next mission was one of the most complicated ones, and Kirito freaked out because he might lose his wife out there. All the fighters were summoned to fight, and it was so terrifying as never. The fight got started. The monster was so powerful, but they could make it over. At the end, 14 players died, and 25 floors were left to get to the last step of the game. Suddenly, Kirito noticed something weird in the leader's behavior, so he attacked him, and it appeared that he was an immortal as well. He was somehow related to the system. The leader revealed his true identity as the creator of the game, Akayaba Akihiko. It was an awkward moment, so he paralyzed everyone except Kirito and decided to give him another fair chance to fight. The leader guaranteed that he will not use any of his superpowers, and if he would lose, the game will end and they will go back to their real lives. The fighters couldn't stop their friend. It was too risky, but when he remembered all the innocent people out there, he stepped forward and agreed on that request. As he was fighting, it was clear to everyone that he had no chance, and when he almost took the knockout, Asuna took it instead and passed away. Kirito didn't understand what happened, so he just gave up, but before dying, he stabbed the leader in his chest and announced the end of the game. Kirito and Asuna were supposed to be dead after what happened, but things worked unexpectedly in that world. The boy found himself alive in a hospital and decided to find the love of his life. The days passed and there was nothing new. Kirito lived with his loving sister while Asuna was in coma during the last 2 months. He visited her that day and he met her father Yoko, just like the usual, but this time Sogo Nobuyoki, a friend of the family, came as well and revealed that he wants to marry the girl as soon as possible. Kirito got shocked and couldn't say anything as her family didn't know about all what happened in the game. When the father left the room, Sogo confessed that he was the bad servant in the game and he controls Asuna's life as he had the access of the settings. Kirito's friend sent him a picture of Asuna, so he went in the next morning to know more details about it. When he arrived, he showed him another similar game to Sword Art Online. It appeared that the picture was taken there. The boy decided to go and to look for his girl inside that virtual world. When he started his journey, he felt the same as the first time. And by checking the settings, he could call back Yui, his daughter from the Sword Art Online. She helped him to understand how the game works, and she presented herself as his fairy assistant. The special thing about this new game was the ability to fly using wings. It was amusing and funny. At that time, another girl was fighting 3 soldiers at her own, but then Kirito interrupted and showed his true powers while enjoying killing them. At the end of the fight, she introduced herself as she was called Lifa, and Kirito took advantage of her kindness to know more about the word tree which was in the game. He also asked about the city where Asuna was living. After a good conversation, they decided to fly to that city. She offered him a drink to thank him for saving her life, and then she told him that in order to get to the top of the tree, he must work on his flying skill. As all the sects cannot fly more than 10 minutes, but the one who would make it will be honored with a gift, which is the ability to fly freely at any time. Lifa finished her words by saying that the way to the top is way dangerous and tough and decided to take the boy to his destination in the next day. At the same time, Asuna was detained in a cage by Sogo, who was treating her as his queen. He was totally obsessed with her. Sogo revealed that he has the ability to disable the player's memory and to play with their feelings. Later, it appeared that Lifa is Kirito's sister. She was playing that game since he was in the hospital. As it was planned, they went to the gun shop in the next day, even when the leader of her syndicate, Sigurd, didn't agree. On their way, Kirito told her that her other little friend was in love with her, but she ignored that and they kept flying together until they arrived to their final destination, where they can start climbing. They stopped to take a rest for 20 minutes, and when they came back, the boy felt like there was something tracking them, and he was right. When they got into a tunnel, they saw a bat which was used to spy on them. Lifa killed it and they start running because the owner of that bat will chase them. Indeed, 12 players came to kill Kirito. They were ready to fight. Lifa helped the boy, and after many attempts, he could finally use their powers against them and created a beast which killed them all except one. At the end, they could collect more information about the attack. When they arrived to the shop in order to buy the necessary guns and tools, Lifa's friends called her on the phone, so she had to leave the game for a couple of minutes. Her friend told her that the leader is working with another evil guild called the Salamanders, and he was planning for something big and mysterious. When she came back, she told Kirito about the big reunion of the 4 sects and the possibility of beginning an attack by the Salamanders against them all. They flew to the reunion, but they were late. The attack almost began, so Kirito interrupted by introducing himself. The leader of the Salamanders invited him to fight to confirm his identity. They both had the same skills, and they were considered as one of the high-ranked players, but the difference was in their swords. The leader's sword was unbeatable, but we can never underestimate the power of an idea. The boy made a great plan, and he won. Everyone got surprised of the great performance and appreciated what he did. Even the leader decided to take his soldiers away. The 4 sects asked for explanation of what happened, and Lifa revealed everything she knew about her friend Sigurd and his betrayal. Sakuya, the chief, fires the traitor from his actual position as a leader of one of the sects, and he would be considered as an apostate. After all, the sects thanked Kirito for his help and wished him a good luck in his journey. On the other side, Asuna saw the secret code of the cage and she could escape successfully. Kirito and Lifa arrived to the first city on the foothill, but it was too late to start climbing, so they just signed out. On her way out, Asuna passed by the laboratory where she realized that Sogo was trying to control people's brains. It appeared then that the game was more dangerous than the Sword Art Online, and while she was trying to save the other players, she finally found the exit button. She was too close from touching it. The 2 guards caught her and recognized her face, so they simply took her back to her cage. And the next day, Kirito and Lifa continued walking towards their destination, and they were getting closer. Yui felt the presence of her mom Asuna, thing which made the father lose his mind and flew blindly. Asuna in the cage had the same sensation, so she dropped a card which she stole from the lab, and Kirito caught it. He decided to continue walking alone because he knew how dangerous and tough the way was. His first step was to convince the king that his flying skills are good enough by defeating all the monsters in less than 10 minutes. Lifa once told him that it was an impossible mission, but he tried as he knew that death in the game won't affect his real life. The fight was unfair, and it was clear since the beginning that he wouldn't make it. He received several hits and he got temporarily killed until his friend came to save him. They talked about it and suddenly they discovered each other's identity. Kirito knew that Lifa is his sister, and so did the girl. They were shocked and decided to sign out. It was an emotional moment for both. The girl started crying and the boy remembered all the details of his childhood. They decided to log in again and to continue their journey, but Lifa insisted to have a sword fight, and in the middle of it, she seemed to pass out. Kirito held her in his arms and apologized for all what happened. Then they made a plan to get through the monsters to reach the palace of the king and to get awarded by the possibility of the unlimited flying skills. Yui did all the statistics and gave them all the information they needed to win. Also, Lifa's friend joined them for help. Again, it was an unfair battle and the guards were so strong. Kirito almost got killed again when suddenly the other sects came to be in his side, and the boy did it in the name of love. He found another gate which opened using Asuna's card. When he passed through it, Yui could feel it right away, and she guided her dad, and step by step they were getting closer until they found the cage and their missing princess. But before they enjoyed the reunion, Sogo interrupted that beautiful moment and started by eliminating Yui, and then paralyzed Kirito and stabbed his chest with a sword. He forced him to feel another level of pain as he was hurting Asuna as well. The boy felt useless and was one step away from giving up until a sound in his mind reminded him of everything he once went through just to be in that place. It was Kayaba Akihiko, the real owner of the system, who inspired him to stand up on his feet and to face Sogo without any mercy. The boy killed the devil and felt the love of his princess again. They both went to their real life, hoping to live happily after. When Kirito woke up, he took his bike and went to the hospital in the middle of the night, and while he was running, someone made him bleed. It was Sogo waiting for him to take his revenge. It's weird how can love give birth to all those different feelings and powers. Kirito went through a lot and he wouldn't let that thief win no matter what. He almost got killed, but he knew that it wasn't a game, so he just proved that death was closer to them more than anything else. He continued his walk to her room. Finally, they met each other. The first touch announced the end of their journey and the beginning of a new life. A normal life. They went to the same school while both of the virtual games were banned for the damages they caused to people. The survivors organized a party to celebrate the victory and met each other again. A happy ending for such an amazing story. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. See you in the next video. Take care.